Good morning! Hi cubies and newbies, I am Sunshine. This is the ABCube method for solving Rubik's Cubes. That's Formula A right there. Formula B right there. Formula A is 4 moves, brings a piece to the top, and twists a corner if needed. And Formula B moves 3 pieces around as needed, and that's all you need to do to solve every complexity Rubik's Cube. This is you notice if the formulas that it's a mathematical zero. For every left there's an up, for every left there's a right, for every up there's a down. It only moves the pieces you want to move. It leaves the rest of the cube alone. Okay, so yesterday I started on my 3x9. Yes, this formula will solve the 3x9 as well. We've gotten as far as the 3x3 will do at this point. The white side is done, white corners and edges are done, yellow corners and edges are done, and the center row is done. Okay, that's as much as you can get if it were a 3x3. That's how much you can without having to go before. Now, when I bought this cube, this is as far as I got. I went online and I started watching for a month. I found a tutorial and read it and practiced it and tried it for a day, and then every day the next day I'd find another tutorial and watch it and study it and try it for a day, and for a month I got no farther than this because I couldn't I couldn't understand the tutorials. So the closest I could get was, here is a pattern, here is an algorithm, here's an algorithm. It will do these things on your cube, so on your 3x9. So hold your 3x9, so arrange your 3x9 so that'll be advantageous. Do this thing and then reset it and look and see what to do next. And I'm like, no, I don't understand. So after a month of feeling just stupid, I pulled out one of my large cubes like so. Because if you want to know what a pattern does, do it on an algorithm, do it on a solved cube, right? But I couldn't get this solved to do it on so I could see what was going on. I just could not follow what was going on. So I said, okay, I'm going to pretend on this is a big cube. It has rows. I'm going to pretend that my yellow and white can't turn. The yellow and whites are banded, just like these are. So what happens? So is there anything I can do with my ABCube method? And of course, you can't just go back and forth, because you can't just go left and right and then go up a cube, because that changes your whites. You can't just go like this, because it does it. And with my B, every other left goes back, the horizontal goes back and forth, and you do whatever columns you want to work with. So I said, okay, instead of going one column, every column every horizontal will be 2 moves, so I can access the side columns. So what happens with Formula B if every horizontal is 2 moves instead of 1 move? And so I tried it. I picked a column. I did left. I did away, up, back, second up, because that's the column that it lands in. Away, down, back, down. And I said, well, what did that do? Well, it did one thing on the left and a whole bunch of things on the right. And it switched these two, so these two will flip back and forth every move. And so doing it twice is going to undo that. That's okay. And it flipped the bottom, front, and the top back. It switched these two around. So if I bring them together to see what happens, this cube went there, that cube went there. So I'm like, okay. So it does something. Sorry. Come back. Okay. Okay, so it does, where is it? Hold on. There. blue, yellow, and okay. So it says, okay, so it moves one piece on the left and a whole bunch of stuff on the right. Let's do it again, see what happens. Up, up, down, down. Okay, so the edges went back into place. So if I do it twice, the edges are not affected. If I do it once, these edges are switched. So an odd number of turns is going to affect these edges and these edges, and an even number of turns is going to leave them alone. But a multiple of 3 is going to do something to the center. Okay, so since there's a lot going on the right side and not so much going on the left, let's do it again. Up, up, down, down, and then again, up, up, down, down. So it's doing centers. Up, up, down, down, up, up, down, down. So it affects the centers, and the centers go back. It's a 3 cycle for the centers. It's a 2 cycle for the edges. It's a 6 cycle for the whole cube. So since only one thing is happening to the edges on the left, I'm going to start working on the left. So I picked it up and I said, okay, let's work on the left. Let's find a piece on the right that wants to land on the left. So here's 1, 2, 3. Here's 2 pieces that want to land on the left. Okay, so we've got 2 incorrect pieces that want to land over here, 1 that's correctly placed on this side. So let's move these pieces over to here. So these ones want to land between these columns. So I'm going to treat these as 1 because I can. And so, but it's going to land, so it's going to land from my right over to my left side. And I want it to land here, so I'm going to put my space down here and the piece back here so that these are this one and this one are going to switch. So I top, top, up, top, top, second up, top, top, down, top, top, second down, and lo and behold, there. These ones are correctly placed. This one moved whatever was here out to the other side where I can work on it. So yay. So that was done. So now let's do that again. So that was the orange and green I worked with. Let's work with the green and red. Okay, so I can rotate these through freely on the I can rotate the right freely until I line something up that wants to land. 1, 2, 3. Okay, these 2 want to go over, and this piece is correctly placed on this side, so it will knock this piece over where I can work on it. So again, I match them up where they want to land. I separate them so that the front bottom and the top back are going to change, and then I do formula B adapted, which is it's formula B, but for every horizontal it's 2 instead of 1. Okay. And lo and behold, it's happening. Yay. So I'm going to keep doing that until my left side is correct. So here's, the next step would be the red and blue. So let's find some red and blues. See if any red and blues want to go over. All 3 of these want to go over. Okay, so these are all going to go. So this is going to land here if I move this down and this back. Okay, and then slide up, slide up, slide down, and lo and behold, look at that, it's working. So here's another 1, 2, 3. Okay, only 2 pieces want to move. This third piece is already in place, so I'm going to ignore this one, and I'm just going to work on these 2. So I separate bottom to top, slide up, slide up, slide down, and I'm ignoring what's happening on the right because it doesn't matter. I'm placing one piece at a time on the left, and lo and behold, look at that, it's happening. It's happening, okay? And so I'm looking for an orange and green on the outside row. 1, 2, there it is. Okay, so separate, just the outside one this time. Up, up, down, down, and set the corners again. So this one's done, this one's done. I got this one's done. We only have one more to place on my left. So we're looking for a red and green on the far side here. That one's correctly placed. That one doesn't want this. So, and then I move, separate them so that these two are going to change. Up, up, down, down. Set the tip. And the left side is now placed. So when the left side is placed, now I'm going to assess. Either my right side is also placed or there's a parity. If there's a parity, it's the same thing. We already know what causes a parity. It's the center being a quarter turn off. Okay, so on this layer, the layer next to the center is correctly placed. The layer next to the center has 2 that are correct and 1 has a parity, so it matches on the green side. And the other layer has none that are correct. So in one, we've got one layer that's correct, one layer that has one side that matches, and one layer that has no sides that matches. So the one that's correct, we want to leave her alone. And the one that has one side that matches or no side that matches, we're going to rotate it with quarter turn. Now I can do that, but then what do I do? So instead, the quarter turn that needs to happen, I'm going to do it on this side, okay? Because, so I'm going to take, so these ones that need a quarter turn, that have a parity, I'm going to make the quarter turn. Now I'm going to displace this one up here so that I can start placing it directly. So it's one piece to move it out, and then one piece to place it, and then the next one, so it's going to be a total of 5, which is odd, which means these ones are going to flip back again. So, if that didn't make sense, just watch. So I'm going to do a formula B with just these 2 columns. So, top, second up, top, down, top, second down, and this one can now be placed. So let's bring it forward and look at it, see what it is. It wants to go here. So I separate, up, up, down, down. And in placing, I moved it out here, and then in placing them correctly with that quarter turn applied, it's going to be a multiple of 5, which means these are going to flip, these are going to flip, and the centers are going to have, everything's going to be fine. So, separate, up, up, down, down, okay, and then bring this one to go here. So separate, up, up, down, down. So that's placed correctly. One more. These ones are going to go here. So this is my 5th one. So it's going to go separate, up, up, down, down. Okay. So when the left is correct again, I reevaluate. The center one is still correct. The second one, the one next to it, is still correct. And the one that had no sides, the one that had one side matches still now matches. The one that had no sides that match now has one side that matches. It's the orange one. So we only have one row, one column with a parity. And that parity is easily unsolved. We go a 1/4 turn on this side, and then we move this out and then place them correctly. So up, up, down, slide down, and that moved. The piece that was here is now here and wants to land here, so it's going to land there. I'm going to separate, up, up, down, down, okay, That one's correct. And this one wants to go here, so I separate them so that they're here, here and here. Bring it to the front, up, bring it to the front, up, down, down, and this one's placed. This one has one more to go. This one wants to go there, so separate, slide up, slide up, slide down, and one more. This one wants to go here, so separate, slide up, slide second up, slide down, and set the tip. And my edges are done. Haha! And we know that the centers are done. So we know that the edges switch in odd numbers and pair up in even numbers, and we know that threes, groups of threes, move the centers. So I can move these centers around. I don't want to move them back to start, but I can move these centers around as long as I do formula B in groups of 2. So here's 2 blues, and they want to line up with, oh, let's see, here's a red and green. Let's go, no, okay. Either way, I'm going to get some, it doesn't matter. Okay, so these blues, okay, they're currently lined up with these 2. I don't want to move that one, that's already correct. So let's line it up like this. Okay, so these blues are going to land right here, where this red is, and that doesn't seem helpful. Let's go this way. No, let's go this way. Alright, it doesn't matter. The blues have to move up, so we're going to do that. So they're lined up. Slide up, slide up, slide down, and then again, because we're doing groups of 2, so that my edges are not messed up. 2, down, down, and those blues landed there. They're not here anymore. So here's a red and green and orange. These ones all have to come up. This one's already green, so these three will land right there. Okay? Slide up, slide up, slide down, and again, slide up, slide down. My edges are not affected, and we move these pieces. Haha! Okay, here's 2, red and blue. We'll bring them to match these green and orange. Okay, so these 2. Slide up, slide down, and again, slide up, slide down, and little by little we're getting there. Okay, here's a red. Here's a red. It will land either here or here. So this is the green one we want to land. So it's lined up, top, first up, slide, second up, slide, first down, slide, second down, again, up, down, and set the top. Haha! Okay, I can go the other direction as well if this one wants to land here, but the first up is where it's going to land. So slide up, slide down, again, up, down, and set. Okay, this blue. Oh, okay. All right. I never did do these ones, so we can do those ones. I probably should have done those before I started the other ones, but it doesn't matter. So if I want to affect these, I just have to bring them down into this line. Okay, and I'm going then formula. Okay, here's a white. Wants to land there. Wants to land here. So slide up, slide down, down, and then reset. Oh, I just didn't do it twice, sorry. Slide up, slide up, slide down, and there's a white there. Reset the top, okay, and then put it back and see what needs to happen next. Here's another white, okay, so I'm going to bring it down. So white is here. So let's switch it with this one and then that one. Okay, so up, up, down, down, up, up, down, down, set the top, and now it wants to go here, up, up, down, down, up, up, down, down, okay, and there it is. Now we've got some yellows that need to be moved, okay, okay, bring them into the way. This one's going to go here, slide up, slide second up, slide down, slide second down, again up, up, down, down, and there we have it. Okay, we've got one more. This one wants to go. I'm going to move it out of the way so it can come this way. Okay, so it wants to, so this one wants to land here, so slide up, slide up, slide down, and again up, up, down, down, and set the top and move them back into place. Okay, could have done that any time, and then reset this. Okay, so these ones are done. These ones, let's see, this one. Okay, so this is lined up. Okay, I can either do it first up, second. I can do it this way, or I can do it this way. But either way, so slide up, slide down, and again up, up, down, down, and then this one, okay, line it up, put it away, up, up, down, down, up, up, down, down. So after a month of looking at tutorials online and just feeling stupid, I adapted Formula B to be a double slice on top and mastered it in a day. So that's fun. How's it? Wait a minute. Pop up, go away. Don't need you. Good morning, everybody. How are you today? I see some familiar names and I see some unfamiliar names. So hi. Welcome to, if you've just discovered me, I am Sunshine. I'm the creator of the ABCube method for solving Rubik's Cubes. That's Formula A, 4 moves. That's Formula B, 8 moves. And with it you can solve every complexity Rubik's Cube with no need for any other algorithms. No parity, no need to deal with parities. Parities are a lie. We can get rid of them with one single turn. Okay, I had a connection problem. Is everybody still here? Aha! My red bar went across the top and said, we are having connection problems. So I think I froze for you guys. So I'll do that again. Bottom row right column brings this piece. Hello, kitty. Here's my cat. I have a cat. Hi, Fluffer. Hi, Fluffer. Hi. You're interrupting. Do you know you're interrupting? Oh, you're so beautiful. Why are you so beautiful? Why are you so beautiful? Come back and let's see us. Let us see you. Come back and let us see you. Come back. Let us see you. Let us see you. Not you, not your back. Come here. Come here, you. Hi. Hi. Hello. There's my kitty. There you are. What a beautiful cat. What a beautiful cat. Hi. Hi. I'd like you all to meet Fluffer Bunny. Okay. Back to work. All right. So, bottom row right column moves the corners around. Middle row, middle column moves the centers around. Gives you boxes. Okay. So that's what Formula A is used for. Formula A can be used for any piece on the top layer, but it can only be used for one row, for one face, because Formula A affects all 6 sides. Whereas Formula B just affects 2 sides. The front, you find a piece on front and you throw it to the top. So Formula A is always done in multiples of, well, once you've got the cube in any sort of solve, it's always done in multiples of 6. The first 4 corners, it's whatever it takes, but the second, from that point forward, it's always done in groups of 6. So I can either twist this piece, flip it here and twist it back 6 times. So let's do that. 1, up, down, and up. 2, so it went down, and then it went back to the top, but it twisted. And back to the bottom, but twisted. And back to the top and twisted. And a multiple of 6 gets you back to the start. If I want to twist this, I'll do Formula A until it looks the way I want it to go, and then I'll move it over here. And if you continue my 6 set, my Formula A on another piece, and when it's a multiple of 6, the rest of the cube has not been affected. So if you have every corner in the correct place, but 2 of them, but if it's in the right place but switched, you will have it switched a multiple of 3 twists. So if this one is twisted clockwise, this one is twisted counterclockwise. If there's 2, they're twisted opposite to each other. If there's 3, they're all twisted the same way. So, and to undo it, Formula A until it looks the way you want it to look, and then bring a finish with a different corner that can be twisted. So you have to do it in groups of 6. Okay, so that is Formula A. Formula B moves 3 pieces around. The top row and 2 columns. If it's the top row and the outside columns, you're moving corners around. If it's like so, slide up, slide down, and only 3 pieces. It only moves 3 pieces at a time. This piece moved here. This piece moved here. So these 3 pieces moved. Okay. If you do it once, it's clockwise. Do it again. It's counterclockwise, and again get you back to start. So I don't take time. I don't use time looking at it to see, do I want to go clockwise or counterclockwise. I just apply Formula B, and it's either done, or I apply Formula B again. And for me, it's easier for me to do Formula B once or twice than it takes the time for me to look at it and go, are you going clockwise or counterclockwise? Because my brain doesn't do that. So I just do Formula B. And so if top row outside columns moves the corners. If I want, but you don't have to memorize which columns do what things, because you're just picking a piece. You're picking a piece that you want to move, and you're applying the Formula B to that piece. I usually have a thumb tack thing, wall tack. Okay, so if I use this column, if I use 2 columns, if it's the corner columns, it moves. Outside columns, it moves the corners. A side column and an inner column is going to move an edge piece. So let's say I don't have to memorize which columns do. I just pick this piece wants to move. This piece wants to move over to here. So I'm going to apply Formula B to this piece. So that's top row, and the 2 columns are where I want it to land and where it begins. So row, first column, second column. I start by moving away. Away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down, and because I've done, okay, and what that did, that moved 3 pieces and only 3 pieces, Okay, move this piece to the side and this piece to the front, and the other one went into that spot. If I wanted this piece to move over here, it would be this column and this column, away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down, and this piece that moved here anyway. So I find the piece that's incorrect, I determine which way, I do it which way it wants to go. The corners match the front, it's going in this direction, away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down. That one's placed. And again for this one, up, up, down, down. So you find the piece that you want to apply it, you want to move, and you apply formula B to it, and the cube mandates what columns they are. If you want to move a center piece, then it's going to be 2 center columns instead of that, no outside columns at all. For example, this piece. I find a piece on the front, it's going to move to the top. I move it up, and this is that piece. I don't know why it's not marked. And then you rotate the top so that it lands in a separate column, and where it is your second column up. And then you reverse and set the top. This piece moved here, but this piece didn't move here. It moved. There's always 3 pieces. You're always moving 3 pieces. So if two of the pieces are the same color, it looks like you're moving 2, but it's always 3. So you line up, slide to a different column, up, reverse, down, reverse, down. If it's a diagonal center piece, you have to pay attention to which way the column is moving, because if you have to use 2 columns, not just 1. So if I went up like that, I couldn't go here because that'd still be the same column. That's a good way to mess up your edges and start again. So I do the corners first because every cube has corners. It has 8 corners, and then I do the edges because the edges are the columns. When I do the corners first, the corners dictate what color that face is going to be. We used to work around the absolute center, but when cubes became bigger or even numbered, that stopped being effective. But if you get the corners can only be correct to each other in one position, and so that dictates the color for those sides. And then I do the edges because the edges are then there as a visual clue for me for when I'm working with the centers. So if I've got a large cube and I get interrupted while I'm in the middle of the cube, I can forget which direction my top was going, and so the edges are done to remind me what layer I was on. And when you're using center columns, here's my sticky. When you're using the two center columns, it's the center pieces that you're moving around. Does anyone have any questions, or should I just keep going? Good morning, you guys. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining me. I love cubing. I love teaching cubing. I'm assuming most of you guys are already cubers, but hopefully this helps you. This is not a speed solving method. It's not a fewest moves method, but when I teach it in real life, it takes total teach time less than 2 hours. And that's not just for the 3x3, that's for every cube. After two 1-hour sessions, usually a week apart, I teach the corners. I give them a cube to play with for a week. They come back, they have a question. If it's a 3x3, their question is invariably, pieces are in the right space, but they need to be flipped. What do I do? Well, you displace one incorrect into the other incorrect spot, and then bring it back to the front and place it correctly, and both of them are fixed. If it's a large cube, the question is a parity. Because I did not cover parities. I just get told, with A and B, you can do the corners. I teach them corners. I spend an hour on just corners. And then as they're walking out the door, I say, by the way, if you alter which columns you use, different pieces move around, go play with it. So a parity is when 2 pieces and only 2 pieces appear to be out of place. Formula B always moves 3 pieces around. And so if you only have 2 pieces to move, what can you do? If you try apply formula B to that parity, you're just changing what the parity looks like. You still have 2 pieces that are out of place. And for as long as you believe that there's 2 pieces out of place, you can't fix it without a big old long yucky algorithm. However, parity is a lie. There are never 2 pieces out of place. There's always 3. And if you only see two, the third piece that you do not see is literally the piece that you do not see. It is the center that is a quarter turn off, which we never see that on a 3x3, because if the center's off, we can tell it, we can see it. I'm going to create a parity on this cube by pretending that pretending that I have not solved the centers yet. So if I have the center as a quarter turn off, like so, let's see, let me show you. Okay, before I do this, let me show you. Aha, okay. If the cube is an even number of turns off from correct, then there's no parity. Okay, so if I did boxes, for example, that was 2 center turns off. Boxes is possible. You can solve the cube in that orientation. But if you are an odd number of turns off, meaning 1 or any other odd number, so 0 turns off or any even number, you can solve the cube. If they're an odd number of turns off, you cannot. So here's my cube, and if I'm going to rotate the center, I'm going to have the center be 1/4 turn off. So it'll look like that. Okay, I'm going to try to solve the cube so that the center layer looks like that, and I'm going to come up with a parity when I do. So I'm pretending that I can't see the centerpiece, okay? Because like as if it were a cube, if it were a void cube, or a even number cube. So I would displace a yellow into an incorrect spot, okay? And then I work on the piece on top that's not the top color, okay? Bring corners to match the front, determine its direction, away up, in up, away down, in down, and then I find a piece on top that's not the top color. Corners match the front, it's going in the orange side. Slide up, slide down, find another piece on top. Corners to match the front, determine its direction, up, up, down, down. And then this piece wants to go here, up, up, down, down. When I've got my second layer correct, my top layer has a parity on it. Oh my goodness gracious. This one wants to be here, this one wants to be here. It looks like there's only 2 pieces that need to flip. And on the void cube, you wouldn't be able to tell that the center's correct. Center's not off, because you can't tell that the center's off. So whenever there are 2 pieces and only 2 pieces, it means your center is off. And it's the center that touches that parity. So if you've got a large cube and these are the 2 pieces that are off center that they need to swap, the center the slice that touches your parity is a 1/4 turn off. Correct it by 1/4 turn, doesn't matter which direction. For example, I can see the center, so I know that it wants to correct this way. But if I couldn't see the center and went another direction, that would also give me an even number of turns off, which can work. So my parity is here. So that my parity is here, so the center that's at a 1/4 turn off touches this parity. So if I may go 1/4 turn there, then of this one, now I have 3 that are off, and those can be placed correctly. So I'm ignoring my center, and I'm working with colors on top that are not the top color. I'm going to place the side edges, and the parity will disappear. And there we go. The parity disappeared. My centers are still off, but they're off by an even number of turns. And I can correct that with formula A. Okay? So the 3 top, front, and right are the 3 that I want to move. I'm applying formula A to this piece, so I move it out of the way. I move the space down, I move the cube into the space, and the cube and the space back up again. And we're done. Doo-doo. Anybody have any questions, comments, queries, anything particular you'd like me to demonstrate? Because if not, I'm just going to take this piece. Oh, this is my logo. It is done by 2 formula A's on a 5x5. First piece was these 4 corners, the second piece is these 4 corners, and it gives you a really pretty flower pattern, which I like. So that is my logo. Doo-doo. I am planning some merch, you guys. Send me comments what you want. Do you want t-shirts? Do you want sweatshirts? Do you want coffee mugs? Do you want mouse pads? I'm going to have some with my logo on it. I'm going to have some with Formula A and with the formulas on it. I'm going to have, let me show you what I have. You see, it's an ABCube. All right, that is a super soft throw blanket. I did it with just an iconic melting cube, but I want to have it done with my 5x5 pattern on it instead of the multi-cube 5x5, and then it'll say ABCube on it. I also have stickers. These were made up with just the multi-cube. I want to have stickers with my logo instead of the multi-cube that I can like pass out at conventions and stuff like that. So that will be fun. So tell me what you want to see. Also, I thought, this is clever. Hi, are you going to interrupt me again? Hello, beautiful fluffer. You're very beautiful. Yes, you are. Okay, sorry. I'm going to make a t-shirt with the Formula A and B right here, upside down. So if you're a newbie, you can just like look down and see what the formula is and then do it. So I think that's clever. I'm also going to make keychains. That'll be fun because all you gotta do is have Formula A and Formula B. It will fit on a keychain. That's all you need. And so then you can have your keychain formula with your keychain cube, because they're keychain cubes. Try saying that 3 times fast. Boy, keychain cubes are a thing. So I think merch would be fun. All right. So corners are done, edges are done. I can demonstrate that we can use Formula A for one side, but you can only use it for one side. Oh, that's what I was going to demonstrate. Let's have a piece. Let's say there are 3 ways. There are 3. If I want this piece to be right here, there's 3 main ways I can do that. I can line it up and I can muscle it into place. Now it's in where I wanted it to be. But it changed other things. So it's fine if you're just beginning, but it's not fine if you don't want to mess up your cube. So then Formula A will also move this piece to the top, but Formula A is going to affect all 6 sides. But Formula A, if I were going to do that, I would line it up underneath it, I'd move it away, I'd move the space down, and I'd move the piece into the space, and then the piece in the space back up again. Okay, so that Formula A, I did it, but I also messed up everything else, because Formula A affects all 6 sides. If I want to not affect all 6 sides, then I just work with, I do Formula B, because Formula B only affects the 2 sides. It always works on 3 pieces. So if this piece wants to go here, where's my sticky? Okay. If this piece wants to go here, then I line it up so that it's an advantageous, this one wants to go there. So, in Formula B, first column is where this cube dictates what the columns are. First column is where I'm going to follow this around. So I go up, okay, I slide the top so it's in a different column. That's not a different column, this is. So this, where this lands is my second column. So this is my second column. And then I reverse, and my edges are there to tell me where I am so I don't get confused. So someone talked to me, I got lost. I go this way, nope, my edge didn't line up, so this is the way. Okay, so you can move 3 pieces around with Formula B. So I'll move this piece into here, up, slide, down, slide, down. Every other move is horizontal, every other horizontal is a reverse of the one before it, and then 1 more piece to move. So you can muscle things into place, you can Formula A them into place, and you can Formula B them into place. Formula A works for the entire first face, but you can't use it for the second face. Any other face. Coincidentally, it is the outside columns that actually move things. If I did a Formula B on, say, this piece, to move this piece, but instead of rotating using the top column, I moved a inner row instead, here's what would happen. Out, up, in, up, out, down, in, down. What happens is absolutely nothing. Because the only pieces you can see move are the ones on top. The internal pieces, if there were actually internal pieces, would have moved, but it doesn't matter because you can't see them. So, let's move to, I'm going to do the white. I'm going to do the white with Formula A. This piece is under here. It's going to land right there. So, out, down, in, up. Okay, you can save a little bit of space doing that. Out, down, in, up. Okay, so you can do Formula A for only the first side. Here's your piece. Out, down, in, up. Here's your piece. Line it up. Out, down, in, up. At the top. Here's a piece. Out, down, in, up. Ta-da. Here's a piece. Line it up. Out, down, in, up. You can also do it for the edge pieces as well. Instead of lining it up here to go this direction, then doing Formula B, I can just look at it here and I can move it out of the way, bring the space down, move it into the space, and then up again. So Formula A works on the entire first face, and it's very intuitive, which is why most people can get the first face and only the first face. Hi, Gabby K70 is back. Did you just get here, or did you see me finish my 3x9? And do you have any questions for me now that you are a cuber? We taught Gabby yesterday. So thank you. That's okay for you. All right. So for Formula A brings piece to the top. Formula B moves 3 pieces around. I'm going to do that for these. Okay, so I'm going to use Formula A for the first face because I can. Out, down, in, up. But Formula A affects all 6 sides, so you can't use it except for the first face. Okay. Up, down, down. All right. Okay. Kitty cat is staring at me. I think she wants me to feed her. So that's it for me today, you guys. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for following me. Tell me what merch you want me to make, and I will make it happen. And in the meantime, I'm going to head out for the day. I'll be back tomorrow. You guys be nice to yourself. Have a good day, and we'll see you next time. Bye.